What's good, Joe? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind. So, this episode was awesome, man. Like, JoJo's sense of humor, man, is something else. It's something else, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, so, yeah, man, let's just jump right in. So he starts the episode off. Yeah, of course, you got Bruno. He's talking about the little like ladder or totem pole that of the ranks for Passione. Of course, at the bottom of the barrel, you got the guys like Bruno and his group. You know, the guys that have groups of 6 to 8 guys. They do kind of like the groundwork, grunge stuff, and above them are the capos, which of course is like Popo. And from there, you know, you got the trusted right hand man of the boss, and at the tip top, you got boss himself, Big Boss. Catch you waiting. And then he also mentioned that no one knows who the boss is. He only his most trusted right hand man keeps in contact with him, but nobody knows exactly who he is. We can't investigate him because then we'll be able to discover. And so, in order for them to figure out where Giorno is, or not Giorno, where the boss is, Giorno, Bruno, and the guys are going to have to get themselves noticed by the boss. So that is their plan of attack, and so that's what they're going to do. So it says that we're going to need a trusted team to, of course, do this job. We then head over to the. We also see some other people after we get the OP. See a bunch of other people coming in there, you know, talking about what happened what happened to Popo. You know, they're like, oh man, you know, nah man, it couldn't be suicide, man. He was good, you know. People saying he got murdered. He's like, nah man, no, he wouldn't get murdered, man. He wouldn't get murdered. There's no way that, like, people were buying either story about the suicide or really murder. It's just the murder. No one was buying the fact that he was murdered. You know, like some were saying he probably portrayed the boss, but he's like, nah man, you know, couldn't find a more, you know, loyal capo. I don't know why I almost blanked on their names for a second. Capo and then Popo. So they keep talking, then we get to these two guys in a car driving. One dude, the guy that's driving the car is very distracted, like legit. The man is driving this car in the middle of traffic, and he's just looking over at his friend, talking to him. Good thing he's keeping eye contact. I mean, I'm sure that's a good thing. But for the love of God, man, keep your eyes on the road. And the dude keeps saying like, "Watch the road, you idiot!" Like he's telling him that. And so they just talk about what happened with Popo and what happened with him. We then what happened. They're like, you know, saying that that there was a fortune that he had that was worth 5 billion lira, which I looked it up how much that is in US. It comes out to, I believe, like $1 billion in the USD. Hold on, let me pull it up. So yeah, I think it was like $1 billion, maybe it was like maybe 500 million. I'm not exactly sure what the next number was, but somewhere. But either way, it's a lot of fucking money. You know, 5 billion, almost like 500 billion lira, whatever the hell it was. That's a shit ton of money. So we're discussing, like, you know, no one would have the balls to, you know, look for while Popo was alive, but since the man has now taken this eternal dirt nap, it's up for the taking. It's free money. The guy driving the car says, man, I'll get a hot babe and a bitch in each of my arms, man, and travel abroad. The other guy's like, I'll just get higher up in the familia, you know? And then the dude vanishes from the car, and he's like, that bastard. And they also talk about, like, you know, who knowing where the treasure is, and everything. That's when, of course, they led it to Bruno, because Bruno was like his right hand. That was like Capo's like right hand man. You know, Capo very much trusted. Or not Capo. Popo trusted Bruno. Jesus, I'm getting their names all mixed up. So Bruno Popo trusted Bruno a lot, so he probably knows where the money is. So then the dude just vanishes out of thin air. Then the other guy has to grab at the steering wheel to make sure they don't hit something. And he's like, oh man, going after Bruno already? Just be careful, man. And that's when we head over to this little restaurant area where we got the crew for part 5, Bruno's guys. Pretty much, I like their dub voices for all of them. There's this one guy, the small one that's like 17 years old but barely attended grade school, that can't really do math, which his voice was a little higher pitched than I expected, honestly. The rest of but not that I hate it, I think like it was pretty good. But the rest of the cast are pretty good for the rest of the characters. Especially when from like small clips of the side by side. I know that actually the guy with the white hair was voiced by Aizawa in the Japanese version. So they're chilling. The guy that's wearing like a jacket and a tie but nothing under it. You gotta love JoJo fashion, man. It's fucking bonkers. He's teaching this guy some math and telling him to do telling him to do his multiplication table. The dude wants to get out of there. He doesn't want any part of this. He just wants to go out there and be like, man, I just want to go out and I just want to go out, man. Enjoy the sun, and everything. So he's like, all right, man, come on, let's get this done. He says, I believe in you, So anyway, so yeah. So anyway, he tries to tell him to finish up this math problem. He says, okay, what's 6 times 5? And that's 30. So he's like, all right, man, you're already halfway through the problem. So they're working on their math problem. Then this waiter comes in there and brings over a strawberry cake. Keep in mind, there's 4 of them. So he puts the strawberry cake down. The guy with the beanie on, his stand is one guy I know that his stand is Sex Pistols. I'm not sure I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 6 pistols in the English dub, but his stand. But for you guys that didn't know, his stand is actually a Sex Pistol. Of course, reference to the group. Anyway, so he brings down the cake. The dude knows. He's like, what the hell is this? He's like, and everyone's like, what? He's like, what? He's like, fam, that's a strawberry cake. Yeah, I know that. I didn't get either with a cheesecake or a chocolate cake, you fucking idiot. But there's 4 slices. They might as well have told us to die. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have now officially have the Death the Kid of JoJo instead of OCD like Death the Kid, which is probably like one of the funniest parts of Soul Eater. We have a guy that's superstitious about 4, the number 4. I love it. I'm not sure if Araka's gonna keep this up throughout the rest of the part, or he's gonna put this on the back burner. Either way, I hope we see more of it, because this, from the parts of it we saw in this episode, was fucking hilarious, man. I was dying. So the dude with the jacket, Fugo, I believe his name is Fugo. He's like another freak out man, and then he explains why he has this superstition about 4s, and so. It's fucking stupid, but it's JoJo, man, and this is now completely out of the ordinary here. So, anyway, Araki. So anyway, one of his friends back when he was a kid grabbed a kitten that grabbed a kitten from a litter of 4. And that kid ended up scratching his eye clean out of its socket, scratching the eye out. And they said, of course, he beat the living shit out of it till it was dead. But still, this is just nothing more than a death sentence or something along those lines. He just goes off. It was hilarious, man, actually knowing the context. But anyway. Oh my god. So anyway, then the guy, probably the youngest one there, the guy with the crop top. I mean, not the crop top. The guy with the black. I'm sorry, I don't think we've gotten his name yet. But one thing I will say, low key, I feel like if this dub was done by Funimation, like JoJo was owned by Funimation, I feel like he would be voiced by Justin Briner. I don't know. Did you all agree with any of that? Because I feel like he would voice him. The fact that with him having a higher pitched voice and everything. But anyway. So it says, hey man, again, right? And the problem was 16 times 55, which he got 28 as his answer, somewhere along those lines. Well, the actual answer is 880. How do you fuck up that badly, fam? That's a huge margin of error we got there, ladies and gentlemen. Huge deficit. This enrages Fugo, and he legit grabs a fork and stabs it right into his cheek. And then he grabs him by the head. He starts ranting some shit, and then he grabs him by the head and slams his head against the table. You dunce kagakatsu! Which I have no idea. I don't see Italian, but I think what he said was, "You dense fucking idiot." I think, because I know katsu means fuck, and kago, I'm assuming means idiot. I'm not sure. That's what it sounds like to me from the way it sounds. It looks like he was saying, "You dense fucking idiot." I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be right. Tell me down below if y'all speak Italian. Tell me what the actual translation for that is, if I'm right or wrong. But anyway, but then that other dude grabs out a pocket knife, and he's like, and he puts it right to his throat. He looks at it, he's like, going after, what was it? Like, no, it's looking down on people is very rude. What was it you said? Den's kakakatsu, was it? He's like, I'll slice you. I'll cut you into pieces. You dirty bastardo. And then Bruno comes in there being like, enough! I can hear your bickering from the front of the building. You're disrupting the rest of the customers. And so they all sit down. He introduces Giorno, and the guy from the front desk tells me he has a call for him. And he tells them to introduce themselves to Giorno. So then the dude takes a seat, but the dude with the headphones comes out there, unzips his pants, and legit starts pissing in the teacup. Legitimately pissing in the teacup. I'm like, oh my god, Araki, calm down. Like, the man is legit pissing in a teacup. This is fucking ridiculous. But this is JoJo. This comes with the territory, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, he then puts the teacup back on the top of the table, like nothing had to be like. He's like, come on, take a load off. What was it? What was your name? Giorno, was it? And so then then we get to Bruno, calls up and he looks shocked. Now I'm assuming this is probably the call to him that Popo bit the big one. So he's like, oh, understood. And then the dude in the front desk asks him like, is something the matter? He's like, nah, man, we're good. And then these two old ladies are like knocking on like the window outside, be like, Bucciarati, Bucciarati, Bucciarati. I can't do her voice well, so she's like, will you please come out here and lend me your ear? And speaking outside would be for the best. Yes, of course. So he goes out. We head back to Giorno. He pours in the tea, and for some reason there is steam coming out of his piss. I don't know how that's possible, and I don't want to know why that's possible. Maybe that was just the animators putting steam on there because they was like, oh, it's tea. Let me put some steam on. I don't know why there was steam coming out of it. Piss ain't that hot. If not, my dick would have been burnt off at this point. But whatever the case may be. So then he's like, and then he smells it for a bit, and he's like, probably realized that's piss that he's about to drink. And everyone's like, what's the matter? Come on. You were being so thankful for the tea. It's time to It's time to drink up and forget the niceties. And the other guy's like, yeah, come on, drink up, man. And so then Giorno legit drinks the piss. And it was like, puts the cup down. I'm like, bruh. Now eventually, they're all talking, they're like, holy shit, you actually did it? And they're all having their little fun with it. By this point, Bruno came back. And so then we found that Giorno turned one of his teeth into a jellyfish, which absorbed all the piss. So thankfully, the man did not actually drink piss. Thank Christ. Lord, I don't know why the hell that was even there, but hey, good prank, I guess, bro. I guess that's a decent prank. So anyway, they leave. So he tells them that they're going off to go and get a boat. So they leave, and then they're walking on the sidewalk. People are be like, oh, hey, Bucciarati, hello, Bucciarati, Bruno is a bit of a popular guy here in Napoli. And so then he looks over at the two old ladies we saw earlier. He nods at them, and then we get a flashback to what happened there. So we find out that the woman that called her friend, another elderly old lady, her son is beating her. Now, whose son is beating her, and she's asking Bruno to help out with that, set him back on the right path. He's like, yes, I'll tell him that he went out of line, and she says, don't, please, thank you, Bruno. My son is a good boy, deep inside, but these cursed drugs, they fucked him over, mano. She low-key did have a bit of an Italian accent, I noticed, so. Which was nice. I was like, alright, finally, someone with a mild Italian accent here at Part 5. But anyway. So, and by this point, when she mentioned drug, Bruno was in shock. He was like, and she's like, please, Bruno, I need to hear you say it, to give them peace of mind. She's like, yes, you can rest easy. So, I'm curious what he means by these drugs. Are we talking about stand-related drugs? Are we talking cocaine, meth, heroin? What got Bruno a little uneasy there when she mentioned drugs? So, now we didn't see anything about this week's episode, so we might see that next week. One thing I'm actually legit curious about, though, about Part 5. I'm curious if the whole thing about Giorno killing Popo will end up becoming a thing later on, where, like, say, if Bruno might start to suspect that Giorno did, and that might strain the relationship for a time, and then they're separated, or this could just be like, or they'll just forget about after this little arc when they get Popo's treasure. That could very well easily be the case, but we'll have to wait and see on that. So anyway, they get over to this dot to go rent a yacht. The dude's just like, oh yeah, and then once they get there, like, oh god, don't you dare pick number 4. I think it was not Fugo. I forget his name. I forget the dude's name. There was Laracha. Shit. I can't, man. I am terrible with names. I can't remember. It's gonna take some time for me to remember these guys' names. But the dude with I'll just call him Sex Pistols for right now, since that's like the only thing I can remember. So, or whatever the hell his name is. Anyway, so he's like, don't pick number 4. He's telling everyone, don't pick number 4, because he's so superstitious about number 4. So they get inside. He tells him, he's like, anything but number 4, man. He's like, I know, and he ends up picking number 2. Well, so I'm going, La Racha. I like that name. La Racha. La Racha. La Racha. I like the name. I like the way it rolls off the tongue. La Racha. I'm not me trying to act more Hispanic than I am. Anyway, so La Racha. So La Racha ends up grabbing all this other like food and shit. He's like, hey, old man, ring me up. And so we get up to the yacht. They're sitting there, doing their thing. See Laracha, he's rocking out some music, got his headphones in on his little speaker. So then Sex Pistols is like he doesn't, and the music is actually leaking a lot from his headphones too. So the man doesn't want to hear this. He's like, hey Laracha, yeah, what up? He's like, hey man, can you hand me a soda? I know you got a bunch of cold drinks. You mind handing me one? He's like, yeah, you might get, or he said he'll buy one off him, but he's like, yeah, but you won't pay him up. Just like, oh, come on, just give me a cold one, man. He's like, what do I buy? You want a cola or some sparkling water? He says, cola, no, sparkling water. I won't see all the little bubbles. So then he hands him a sparkling water. He gives him his magazine so he can open up the can. Once he opens the can, he hands it back as he gets back the magazine, and legitimately starts spilling the soda all over the radio. And so then the dude's back to rocking out for a bit before the thing finally shuts off when the water made contact with the circuit boards and shit. He's like, what the hell? I just bought this thing. Goddamn that old man. He sold me a dog. Damn it. Or he said shit. I forget exactly what he said. He had this really cool son of a shiver, I think it was, something along those lines. He made some piratous kind of swearing, and it was pretty funny actually. So anyway, so they're all discussing what's going on. He eventually, I believe it was not Lorata, Sex Pistols. The dude asked me, what are we doing? What are we out here in this yacht? Why are we going to where they're going? I forget exactly what they were heading. So he's like, where are we going? And then he tells them that we're going over there to get, of course, Popo's fortune, because Bruno knows where he is, and that's where they're going there. And he says it's worth 10 million liberals, 10 billion libras, whatever the hell the currency is for Italy. Like I mentioned before, I put that in the conversion. I think it came out to about $1 billion, I believe, when I last checked. So yeah, that's a lot of fucking money. and with that much capital, they'll be able to gain the rank of Capito. Yeah, that's almost drew a blank on that again. So, but then La Racha ends up getting sucked in this hole. They're like, what's going on, man? And then once they go and look where he is, all they see is a shoe. Then all the rest of the other team members start to get slowly picked off. Fugo gets picked off. Sex Pistols gets picked off. They'll get out, leaving only Bruno, Giorno, and the other guy, the guy with the silver hair. I literally remembered his. Man, I am just shit at memorizing names, man. So forgive me on that. So anyway, they're all stuck together. So they're all together, back to back, and they're looking around. Bruno's saying that they got stowaway on here. That probably knows about the fortune, and they want to get there. And I must say, I love the direction here they had here, where the colors are mixed up in the background, and it's going in a constant circle. I thought that looked really, really cool and really added to the feeling of, I guess, disorientation of the guys looking around trying to figure out where the stand user is. Great stuff from the director of Part 5. So anyway, so they're looking around trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Giorno mentions that all the guys are okay because he turned Laracha's missing shoe into a fly, and it's and since it's looking around for its owner, he's still alive. He's circling around that area where Fugo disappeared. So going in there, and then Bruno mentions that tells him like, hey, why don't we use your stand? And silver hair guy doesn't want to use his stand because he doesn't trust Giorno, because he doesn't want to show off his stand to someone he has no allegiance with or trust with. And and he also kind of shits on Giorno for a bit, also calls him a piece of shit. You know, you're just a piece of shit. So then Giorno says, no matter what, I won't let down my dream, or something like that. He won't let go of his dream. He'll keep going to make sure his dreams are fulfilled. I forget exactly what he said. He's like, what the hell does that mean? Then Giorno legit starts charging right towards it. He ends up getting caught by some tentacles and then gets impaled by a sword. And that is where the dude unleashes his stand, and that is where the episode ends, where we see a shot of his stand. Cool final shot to end the episode off with, and yeah. So, this episode was awesome. Loved it. I'm really digging the new crew we got for Part 5. I don't think they'll probably be as good as the guys we got from Stardust Crusaders in Part 3. Or, of course, what are they called? The Morio Warriors in Part 4 with, Koichi, Okuyasu, and all those guys. Those guys in Part 4 race. I don't know if Part 5 will be able to get as good as those guys, or hell, even the Part 4, or hell, even the Part 3 crew. Stardust Crusaders with Abdul, Polnareff, and Kakyoin, as well as Iggy, and Joseph. But we'll have to wait and see. It should be pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing the Part 5 cast, getting to know these guys. Oh, one last thing I almost forgot to mention. When Bruno was talking about the fact that Popo died and committed suicide, he was looking at Giorno when he said that. Which makes me feel like Bruno probably knows that Giorno was the one that killed him, but he probably was not going to. So, I don't think we might see something happen from that. I'm not sure. We might not. Either way, I'm definitely interested. So yeah, overall, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10, guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.
Body.